Okay, Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, turn on the lights. So if you don't know, Alexa is part of the Amazon Echo product. It's a voice assistant Bluetooth speaker. And so some background, voice assistant technology is basically voice-driven artificial intelligence. Most of the time it's connected over internet. And so that's how it has such a vast knowledge, so that when you ask it a question, either by pressing a button or using a wake word like Alexa, then it's able to, it records your voice, and then it searches over the internet, and then that's how it finds the answer. And this is a really relevant technology and topic right now, because according to Natasha Lomas of TechCrunch, she, with a study put out by Gartner, by the year 2021, voice assistance technology will most likely gather up a global revenue of $3.52 billion, which is up from $0.72 billion last year in 2016. So this is a really growing popular technology, and which is why it's relevant. And so I want to tell you about the benefits of, or why voice assistant technology is beneficial in today's society, and why we should be accepting of it, and that it's not just kind of like an extra technology that's that doesn't really kind of support anything. So the first benefit is that it's really convenient and simple to use. Because it's voice driven, you don't have to be searching on your phone. You don't have to hold your phone to find an answer. If you're busy, you can multitask. If you, for example, if you're cooking dinner and you don't know the recipe and you have to keep looking on your phone, that's a hassle. You're going to contaminate the food if you keep touching your phone because it's so dirty. But if you need to find a recipe quick, you can just say, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google, can you find this recipe for chicken piccata?" So it allows people to multitask, and it's just really convenient and simple to use. And then there's statistics to go along with that. So according to Leonard Klee of CRM Magazine, more than half, or 53% of voice-activated virtual assistant owners say that they now make fewer in-store purchases. 51% say that they use traditional web browsers to search online less often. And then 6 in 10 users also read and watch traditional media channels less frequently. So this is changing the game for a lot of people. Before, you would have to shop in store, and then online shopping came along. But now you can order from Amazon Alexa through Amazon, and then you can have a package in your door 5 to 8 business days. So it's really convenient to use, and it makes a lot of things simpler. It doesn't really, it's not a necessity, but it just kind of benefits and it helps people out. It's a luxury, but it's also, it's a beneficial luxury. So the next benefit is that it could potentially allow for safer driving in the future. A lot of motor companies like GM and Buick and Cadillac are incorporating voice assistants into their vehicles. A really well-known example is OnStar. So OnStar has a lot of safety features. So if you get in a vehicle accident, you press a button and then it will automatically call safety services, the police department, the fire department, things like that. But it also has navigation and infotainment features. And according to James Anderson in his book Autonomous Vehicle Technology, according to reports, GM, General Motors, expects widespread in-vehicle 4G LTE connectivity to spur V2I, which is voice to infrastructure communications, which enhances the safety, efficiency, and convenience for drivers and passengers. So, like I said before, voice assistance technology is connected over the internet, and in a lot of vehicles there's that data communication, so the 4G LTE, and so that's how it's able to get those answers for you. It can get real life traffic for you. It can get the directions for you, so the navigation. And so with the incorporation of the voice assistants into vehicles, it's going to lessen the distraction of drivers. Instead of going on your phone and taking your eyes off of the road to look up directions to your friend's house or to look up the traffic in real time, all you can do is you press the button and you say, hey, what's the freeway like, going to Corona or somewhere. So it's going to lessen the distraction by keeping drivers focused on actually driving. And eventually, according to the book, the hope is that all vehicles will have, so this will be like a mainstream technology in all vehicles. And if all the vehicles traveling in a certain area, they'll all be able to communicate with each other over the internet and kind of give the traffic reports that way. So the cars will know, how fast to go according to the traffic and things like that. And then the next benefit is the health benefits. Voice assistance technology is surprisingly could have health benefits for us with our eyes. So screen time addiction is a really big problem, and it's growing increasingly. Young kids have iPhones and tablets and everything in their hands. People like us, teens, adults, are constantly on their phones or computers trying to do work. And then even the older generation, they're always watching the news, or maybe they have a tablet for their ebook. So it's just a really big growing problem, the screen time addiction. And what voice assistants can do for that is lessen the impact and lessen the dependency of screens. So because, again, it's voice driven, you don't have to look at your phone to do your work or to, like I said, navigation. You can just ask the speaker and it will tell you. And according to Bianca Seidman of CBS, eye strain from hours of screen time can result in eye irritation, dryness, fatigue, blurred vision, and these problems are increasingly common. And so with the voice assistants, it's just going to lessen the dependency that people have on their phones, on their computers, on their tablets. And with that, it'll improve our eye health, and it won't strain our eyes as much. And then it's especially important for the younger generation, for the little kids, because we don't want to ruin their eyesight from when they're young, so that they won't have to wear glasses when they're older. And so with all of this, voice assistance technology is beneficial towards society. It's not just a luxury, it's a beneficial luxury. So it is convenient and easy to use, and it could potentially allow for safer driving in the future, and then it also could have really impactful benefits for our eye health. Thank you.
Miguel, what did you think?
Well, it was a pretty good speech. How you did in the intro, that was pretty cool. It made sense. And your gestures, they were very nice and well. It made sense to do it. And how you pace things, it was a good even pace. The only two problems were you did keep good eye contact, but I saw you sometimes looking up in the roof, and I saw you sometimes looking down in the ground. And the second one was there was no preview in the beginning.
Okay. The preview wasn't particularly strong, but I could see that there was a setup of what was coming. I thought the summary had a better explanation of what the organizational structure was. So I'll mirror that a little bit, although I do think there was a preview. I kind of like the attention device. I thought it worked pretty well, and I think people appreciated the extra effort that you made for it. And not really Alexa, it's Justin, but it's okay. It worked. The thing that I see here is that this is really so close to being an informative speech rather than a persuasive speech, because you don't tell us what the controversy is. You don't tell us what people resist or what argument you have to make on this. It's basically sharing information about what the potential on this is. I do think that there is an element here that could develop into an argument that people are resistant to this sort of thing or they're fearful about it, maybe that people see this technology as being intrusive or potentially dangerous, and then you can maybe assuage us and convince us that that's not really something that we have to worry about. As it is, it sounds to me, like I said, mostly like an informative speech. Well, here's all the cool stuff that it'll be able to do. You mentioned a couple of problems that it might be able to help us solve in the future, and I think that you could develop those things as problems. You mentioned, for instance, right at the end about our screen dependence and the way we react on those sorts of things. Well, make that part of the early part of the speech. We got all this technology that's piling up on us, and here are the problems it's creating for us. We have addictive personalities. We have eye strain because of paying attention to screens. We have distraction, which is really dangerous for people who are driving or doing something that is problematic. These are the things that are problems out there in the world that are a result of technology. But you know what? The solution to that is this new technology, the use of these artificial intelligence, voice-activated kinds of things that are going to reduce all of those problems in the future. That, I think, is the way to maybe turn it more into a persuasive speech. I didn't see you looking down a lot or off in the corners, but I'm not watching everything that you're doing. Most of the time you look like you were pretty engaged with the audience, and I thought the delivery was fine. All right, thank you.